The world of mirrorless cameras is constantly evolving, with new models emerging every year. Two of the latest offerings in the mid-range category are the Sony A7C II and the Nikon ZF. Both cameras offer a compelling combination of features and performance, making them attractive options for a wide range of photographers and videographers. Both the Sony A7C II and the Nikon ZF boast full-frame sensors, ensuring excellent image quality with low noise and high detail. The Sony A7C II has a slightly higher resolution sensor, with 33 megapixels compared to the Nikon ZF's 24.5 megapixels. This difference is noticeable in high-resolution prints or when cropping heavily. The Sony A7C II has a significant advantage in autofocus performance, thanks to its advanced hybrid autofocus system. This system combines contrast detection and phase detection autofocus for fast, accurate, and reliable focusing in a variety of lighting conditions. The Nikon ZF's autofocus system is also capable, but it may not perform as well in low light or when tracking moving subjects. Continuous shooting performance is also better on the Sony A7C II, with up to 10 frames per second compared to the Nikon ZF's 5 frames per second. This makes the A7C II a better choice for sports, wildlife, and action photography. Both the Sony A7C II and the Nikon ZF can shoot high-quality 4K video up to 30 frames per second. The Sony A7C II has the edge in video features, however, with support for 10-bit internal recording and 4K video at up to 60 frames per second with an external recorder. The Nikon ZF is limited to 8-bit internal recording and 4K video at up to 30 frames per second. The Sony A7C II also has a wider range of video-specific features, such as S-Cinetone color mode, log profiles, and zebra stripes for exposure monitoring. This makes it a more versatile choice for videographers and filmmakers. The Sony A7C II is slightly smaller and lighter than the Nikon ZF, making it more compact and portable. However, the Nikon ZF has a more traditional DSLR-like design, which some photographers may prefer. Both cameras have a good selection of physical controls, including dedicated buttons for ISO, shutter speed, and exposure compensation. The Sony A7C II has a joystick for navigating menus and selecting focus points, while the Nikon ZF has a touch-sensitive LCD screen. Sony has a wider range of E-mount lenses available for its mirrorless cameras, including many high-quality options from both Sony and third-party manufacturers. Nikon's Z-mount system is newer, but it is also growing rapidly. The Sony A7C II is the better overall camera for most photographers and videographers. It has a higher resolution sensor, superior autofocus performance, faster continuous shooting, and more advanced video capabilities. However, the Nikon ZF is a more affordable option with a classic design and a good selection of features. Ultimately, the best camera for you will depend on your individual needs and preferences. If you are looking for the best possible image quality, autofocus performance, and video capabilities, then the Sony A7C II is the better choice. However, if you are on a budget or prefer a more traditional design, then the Nikon ZF is a good alternative.